Hello and welcome back to this week's episode of Netherwood TV on Friday the 27th of April. I'm Jack Sawdon.
And I'm Caitlin Turner, and we're both Year 11 prefects.
This week has been an exciting one at Netherwood.
We will be finding out what Amelia Hill has been up to at the Mayor's Musical All-Stars concert.
We'll also have this week's recommended read and general school news.
Now let's go over to music for the first item of today. We are here in music because Amelia Hill in Year 10 was invited to perform at the Mayor's Musical All-Stars charity concert.
The concert took place on Wednesday the 18th of April at the Civic to celebrate Barnsley's next generation of aspiring musicians and performers.
Amelia provided music for the Mayor's reception at the Civic Panorama, performing a 30-minute set for a crowd of favourites as a solo artist.
Amelia represented the school brilliantly, and the audience and the Mayor himself were very impressed at her set.
All proceeds from the concert went to the Mayor's charity, which is supporting the Cure for Myeloma appeal and Barnsley Riding for the Disabled.
Let's have a look at Amelia in action. Now it's time for this week's recommended read of the week.
This week's recommendation is from Mr. Reiff.
The book I'm currently reading is The Once and Future King by T.H. Wright, and it chronicles the early days of King Arthur, his education and his formulation of his ideas. And it's a very interesting book. It's quite a different take on what may have traditionally been seen on television and so forth. What makes it particularly interesting for me is that it's one of those books that was recommended by Professor X in the X-Men in the films there. So it's quite a different account where Arthur gets his training and views on life and politics and how to govern justly, and then progresses on to how he deals with the challenges that he faces ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Reiff, for this week's recommended read.
And remember, all books that we feature on Netherwood TV can be found in the LRC from Mrs. Parkinson.
Now into some general school news and community messages from around the school.
This week, the Interact Club, run by Mr. Utley and Mrs. Lee, took a couple of Year 8 students to the Darfield Ring roundabout.
The students helped local community workers to de-weed and clean up the roundabout, picking up old plants.
Here are some pictures from the afternoon.
As I'm sure you're aware, on Friday the 4th of May, a stage of Tour de Yorkshire will be starting from Barnsley Town Centre and passing through Hoyland and the surrounding areas.
As a result, there will be several road closures and amendments to public transport services throughout the day.
Netherwood Academy will be opening as normal in the morning. We advise students and parents to make themselves aware of the expected disruption to roads and public transport and plan their journey to school accordingly.
Recognising that this may mean that some students wish to arrive earlier than usual, the Academy building will be open to students from 7:30 a.m. Lessons will start the usual time of 8:25 a.m.
To minimise the disruption potentially caused by the end of the school day coinciding with the tour, and afford our students for the opportunity to watch the prestigious sporting event themselves.
Netherwood Academy will close to all students from 1:30 p.m. on Friday the 4th of May after our usual lunch times.
This early closure will enable students to make their journey home free from the potential disruption caused by the road closures, which are planned for later in the afternoon. You can find further information regarding the tour route on the website.
As with any early closure arrangements, procedures will be in place for families who would like their children to stay in school until the usual time of 2:30 p.m.
Should this be the case, then I would be grateful if you could contact the Academy via the email by Friday the 27th of April 2018 at contact@netherwoodschool.co.uk. If you wish, you can download this letter from the school website. The link is in the description below.
That's it for this week. Thank you for watching this week's episode of Netherwood TV.
Tune in next week at 10:25 for another amazing episode of Netherwood TV.